I wish I had a better explanation for what's going on. I really do. But I'm not the one to ask these questions to. You got to ask your commander-in-chief. You got to ask a party elite in your party. You got to ask some people that you be spending your money with, spending your time with, putting your hopes in. Makes sense to me, don't it? That makes sense to you? I mean, if they're going to be talking all this democracy, we got to save the democracy, we got to have something to save. Right? Well, Tim Black. All right, people. Don't worry about me. I'm just in mid-thought. What's up, party people? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. You're now watching the most dangerous show in America. Shout out to my moderators, Buck Bewley, Black Mamba, and Ebony in the house. Yeah. Hope the audio's nice and loud. Hope the people are nice and stretched, ready to go. I hope my filing system works. I hope the videos I have prepared tonight work. I don't know if they're going to work or not, but you know what? I say, let it be what it's going to be. I ain't going to trip one way or the other. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to share comments, commentary, because this is a commentary show. This is not a news show. I'm your commentator by the name of Tim Black. We do this on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, new update. And we're going to let the chips fall where they may because somebody's got to call it out. Service bulletin. I put out a video early this morning. A video about Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb, and it's doing very well. It was a commentary not about politics, really. It's about culture. It's about conversations and miscommunications and men and dialogue and lack of dialogue and lack of understanding and a whole host of things. And the video is doing very well. And I want to thank everybody who's checked it out. And it appears my viewers like this type of content. So why not do more of it? I mean, I had a capacity to do it. Why not do it? I'm tired of people talking about the Gestapo and Nazis and stuff. Yeah, I'm tired of people talking about that. Yeah, you know what Nazis, you know what they did, right? It's like comparing, you know what? We don't want to have that conversation now. We want to kind of try to move beyond it. But say, God, man, people just get the gaslight. I understand you don't like your job. For instance, I understand when people do not like their jobs. They do not feel like they have the freedom to live their lives the way they want to live their lives. And then when they start comparing that to Black Americans in slavery, enslaved in America, that's when you lost me. Because, I know I have an idea. I can imagine what that was like based on being informed on the topic. And I can tell you picking up a paycheck totally destroys all similarity between the two. I mean, unless when you go to move those boxes at your job, there's a big old white man on a horse hitting you with a bullwhip. I mean, I don't see a similarity. It's kind of destroyed the whole similarity. You understand what I'm saying? Same thing goes for people saying, oh my God, this person came into the country 5 years ago and they just came in like, hey, I'm here. And now a new president's saying, it's like, look, if you came up in here without your paperwork, you are subject to removal. Now, if you want to compare that to the Nazis, putting people in ovens Yeah, I'm seeing a dissimilarity between the two. I mean, it's just me, but getting a ticket to Honduras where you came from, it's not like getting a ticket to the upper room. But we're in the age of spin and gaslighting and narratives and clicks and views and all this other stuff that's, what I'm gonna say, man, people trying to get their paper. It's just when you sit back and look at it, it's like, man, these two things are not alike. You played those games when you were kids. What two things are alike? You had to pick the things, or what's something here that's different, or seems like a lot of adults have failed that class. That's what it seems like. We're on Facebook, X, Rumble, Kick, YouTube. 5 places. If you're new to the channel, I think I covered this, but we cover black culture, politics, breaking news, commentary. So I don't just report on something, I give my opinion. I don't just tell you what happened, I tell you why I think it happened. I tell you what I think it means. And it's good work if you can get it. If you can create it for yourself, it's pretty good work. Shout out to the Tim Black Wolfpack in the comments, man, on all platforms. Thank y'all for pushing through. I know how it is. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. You probably got other things to do or whatever. Hopefully I help you unwind and get some good info. And this is a pleasing experience. Well, we're not pleasing because I'm not nice. Yeah, I'm not. I used to think I was nice. But I realized I'm not nice. I'm more of a, as I age, I become more and more, stern. But I like to laugh. I like having a good time. And, I pick my spots. So, yeah. We've been having a good time on this channel covering a lot of different news that's been breaking. We've been talking about Minnesota, the Somalis, and ICE, and shootings, and a brother in LA by the name of Keith Porter, who got a scintilla of coverage. That's what we expected, though. We knew that, right? Was anybody black really surprised when they found out there was a black man killed a week before the white lady was killed in Minnesota and no one talked about it? By ICE. It was the ICE that wasn't even on duty. Was there anybody here that was surprised? I'm sure there were a couple people surprised. Had to be a few people surprised. But most of us weren't. I know I wasn't. I know I wasn't Johnson. Because it happens all the time. What I was surprised is that when I did cover it, nobody wanted to watch that shit. I was surprised at that. Maybe it's my thumbnail and title. I don't know. Which is fine, because I'd rather not cover it. See, when my people give me signals that they don't want something, I listen. I'm down for listening to that because I'm tired of reporting on black people getting killed. Tired of it. So, party people in the house. My video earlier today with Anton Daniels, man. God, man, what is... Man, either Anton is a troll. Yeah, I was thinking about this as I was preparing the show. He pulled a Raven Simone. The man literally pulled a Raven Simone. He said he's not black. Corey said something like, man, when your people are getting done by this, by the system, and, the system does this, the system does that. And Antoine said, what people? He said, black people. I'm sorry, do do you claim black people as being your people? Or are you not black American? He was like, no, I'm not. I'm a Christian first. I'm a Christian. I believe in the Lord. So that's the problem with you people. You group us in this thing because blackness is a construct. Oh, here we go. Here's the thing, fam. I hope that all the Anton Daniel fans have a good time defending that shit. I would say that pretty much destroyed Simone's career. Thinking she was cute. It probably won't have that effect on the Anton Daniel supporters because they Anton Daniel supporters. You know what I'm saying? Like, the man has a hat on called Bag Chasers. He's being very upfront about what's most important to him. Then he just said he's not black American, so when he's talking about black Americans all the damn time, I'm like, you're basically listening to Nick Fuentes about 100 pounds heavier with a tan. You're listening to a burnt up Nick Fuentes with 100 pounds of weight on him. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. And I guess if that's what you like, I mean, if you like it, I love it. Free country and all, bub. Who am I to tell you you're wrong? Who am I to tell you you're, insane? Saint lunatics. Yeah, man, I got a problem with people that say they're not my people. Talk about my people. It's different, when people are your people and talk about their people, because then you could try to, you could pull from it. Maybe this coming from a place of empathy, a place of love and affection, fondness, adoration, right? Commitment. We in this together, and I have something to offer my people, let me offer it. That's where I come from because, everything I say you might not agree with, and you know what? Use what you can use and throw the rest away. No one here can walk on water. I can't. And there's gonna be times when I wish I had said something different or want to pull something back, but it is what it is. When you do live shows, and they go from here to here, you tried. You tried talking for an hour and a half to your damn self. You ain't got nobody sitting over there going, or stopping you like on the Shannon Sharp show. He got a guy in there, I forget his name, be like, hold on a second. Is this what you meant to say? Because it sounds a little crazy. Oh, no, that's not, I didn't mean it that way. Let me add this. Let me add that. Let me correct this. Let me correct that. So it's hard sometimes when you're live and you don't have any benefit. Pretty much everything you watch in the media is scripted. You do understand, like, when you're watching commentators in corporate media. When I say that, I mean corporate media, right? It's on a teleprompter. It's rehearsed. I mean, occasionally, an actor, it's only the most gifted actors like a Denzel Washington are allowed to go off book. Great comedians like Mike Epps are allowed to go. Cube gave him the latitude to have fun with it, have a good time. Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm, that whole show was unscripted. Here's the premise. 3, 2, 1, go, So that's kind of what I do. Only thing I have written down here is police have been asking black Americans for their papers since 1619. And now it's a problem because somebody else got to do it. Y'all see how that could be a slap in the face? Little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like a little bit, like a little diss. We used to use papers to go across the street. Now it's a problem because somebody else, a little lighter skin, has to do it. Oh no. Oh no. That's crazy, man. Tim, you should want better for others. That's sort of like that's the running thing, you know what I'm saying, fam? It's sort of like, it seems what society wants, American society wants Black Americans to be the saints of the country and also have no memories of past grievances. I mean, I know a lot of Asians, and I know it's a continent, so that's crazy to say. I've had friends, I had a close friend I work with. His name was Ray, and I think Ray was Korean. And one of the coolest guys. I worked with him for like 10 years, man. That was my guy, man. In fact, I rocks with Ray. I was thinking because I remember when I was in speech class. I was in Toastmasters, and every once in a while I'd be preparing a speech, and we'd be on break. And he listened to what's the speech today, man? I said, I gotta do this joint, and like he'd check. I said, let me try it on you. And I do the speech. Ray was good people, man, and his peoples owned a liquor store. He lived in Maryland. Anyway, the point is this. If the U.S. government owed Ray and his family 40 acres and a mule, and then they said, nah, we ain't giving it to you, I don't think Ray's people would ever stop talking about this shit. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? Because Ray did not strike me as the forgetful types. But see, they want Black people to be forgetful. And not want for others which have befell us. We're supposed to be, but rise above. Look out for everyone. Want better for the world, not for thyself. Be a selfless saint. And you know what? It's bigger than that. It's like when you demand things, you're demanding them not just for yourself, you're demanding them for your children and your grandchildren. I'm thinking 2 generations, man. Well, if my people 2 generations ago would have fought harder, maybe I would be in a different place, which means my children would be in a different place. You understand what I'm saying? That makes sense. Hope so. They want us to be saints, fam. And they want us to want everyone else to have a much smoother ride than us. Yeah, they're supposed to not go through the struggles we went through. None of the bumps and bruises of taming this wild, crazy place called the United States. None of that. We're supposed to just pass the baton and get out the way. Go work at the Amazon Fulfillment Center. Go drive Uber and Instacart and just shut the hell up about it and stop bringing up uncomfortable realities. Okay, so what else did I write? You don't have to compare wrongly placing people in custody to Nazis. You can compare it to America and Black Americans. Yeah, you don't have to compare people being scooped up by cops to Nazis. You can compare it to us. That happens all the time. Anytime anything happened to anybody white in a small town or a big town or in a city, and somebody say a Black person did it, do you realize how many heads they would crack looking for Black guys that even remotely fit the description, only to find out the husband did it or the wife did it? You realize that? Everything people are complaining about has been happening to us for the last forever, and now people are shocked. And they only care. It's only a big news. It's only huge news. It's only all this outrage because it's not normal for it to be anybody else but us. And if it keeps being and the fact it was a white lady, that they'd have lost their damn minds, Johnson. It puts you in a bad place because it makes you feel like, well, for me, it puts me in a bad place because, routinely I'm not a person who wishes bodily injury, morbid outcomes, horrific outcomes to people. That's not what I do. But I have a choice. This is what you got to understand. I cannot be Bagger Vance. Right? I can't be your magnificent, saintly Negro. Right? I don't want to be that. I could be that. I don't want to be that guy. Tim's a good one. He's one of the good ones. I don't want to be one of the good ones. I don't. You don't learn anything from the good ones. And whenever the good one gets out of line, you put him back over here with the Nat Turners anyway. That's what happens. He can kiss your ass for 40 years as soon as Tyrone get his back up and be like, well, you know what? Pick your own shit up sometime. I've been picking your shit up for 40 years. You pick it up. All that sucking his job for 40 years ago past like never happened. My God, did you hear Tyrone? You no good. That N-word just jump out. You talk to me that way after all I've done for you. I left you the scraps for my sandwiches, the edges I didn't want to eat. I left them for you. I let you sleep in the bowels of the ship and in the basements of the basement. I let you sleep behind the trash can, behind the carry out. I allowed you to breathe my air. How dare you repay me back like this, you ungrateful, lazy, chefless. And it all comes out. Just flows out. So yeah, man, I just beat him to the punch, man. I beat him to the punch. But you know what's hard about it? This is part. It's not all there is to life. And all of it's not real because, damn it, I've had good people in my life. I've met good people and bad people from everything you can imagine, from every person. This is DC. You know how mixed DC, downtown DC, working DMV is a tiny New York-ish type place, meaning every ethnicity, every walk of life, every pronoun, every orientation, we got the Turkish, we got the Ethiopians, we got the Haitians, we got the blacks, of course, Latinos and Puerto Ricans and Somalis and, of course, white folks and every blend of white folks, not just white. We got Irish, Italians. We got everything, fam. Turkish white folks, too. But I'm just saying, like, this is D.C., man. You get everything here. You got ethnicity. You got ethnicity. You got ethnicity. I'm just saying. So, and I've had people rub me the wrong way from everybody. Every walk of life there is, there's been somebody that's rubbed me the wrong way. And from every walk of life, there's been somebody who's been damn good to me. But people don't do nuance well. They can't handle, like you say, like even saying that is risky. There you go. There you go, kumbaya, nigga. There you go, being the kumbaya N-word. No, I'm just saying, like, I understand that. But at the end of the day, you got to stand on your principles and speak up for what's important. And that's all we can try to do. I was thinking that maybe the Anton Daniels and Corey Holcomb situation is just Anton Daniels wanting to chase that bag so badly, he don't give a damn. Yeah, this is outside portion of me that thinks Anton could just be playing a role. I mean, Lord knows Don Lemon is. Playing a role like he's a progressive or rebellious revolutionary because he can curse now because he's on YouTube and not CNN. As if he chose to do that. Yeah, I'm going to go on YouTube. I can speak my mind. He still be on CNN talking like a pole up his ass. But his politics has not changed. We're going to get to that later. We're going to get to it later. Yeah, don't tell me you bucking the system unless you do things that are different, that go against the system. Curse is not against the system. Samuel Jackson's been doing it for 35 years. It's not a system breaker. That's aesthetics. That's window dressing. That's marble sauce on my wings. I like it, but if the wings is shit, send them back. If they ain't fried hard, send them back. Don Lemon's not fried hard. So yeah, man, I got a couple things. We're gonna check. Let me check and see if they're ready on the grill. You know what I'm saying? Make sure they're popping. I hope so. Who's in the house tonight? We got the Tim Black Wolfpack members. Anybody on X? Can we get some shares out to the algorithm? Let them know you're watching the Tim Black Show, the most dangerous show in that. Can we do it? Yes, you can. Who in here? I said, who up in here? Yo. P. Morton says, DC, worst parking ever. True. You know, Mr. Banneker designed DC. And at the time, they designed DC intentionally to be hard to navigate. They intentionally made Washington, D.C. a difficult place to move around because the idea was it's the nation's capital. And if you come here to attack our president, you're going to have a hard time getting out of town unless you really know the area. D.C. was designed to be a pain in the ass. I don't know any other cities that are designed intentionally to give you a migraine, to cause road rage. I don't know any other cities like that in the world, but DC is. So if you come here and you find yourself ready to slap the taste out of somebody's mouth, it's working. That's all I'm saying. It's working. That was a black man, by the way, who designed that. I know he was designing DC like, this will make these white people go crazy. This will fix them. His wife made him the big piece of chicken that night. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I remember when Don Lemon was telling black people to pull their pants up. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. There's a, what gets it is there'll be I ran across this dude, this guy who was covering, it's a guy on YouTube that was covering Don Lemon, and he was praising Don Lemon's. Don's got so amazing since he left CNN. He's so dope. I love the way he pulls the gloves off. I'm like, you corny ass person. How corny. You got any husk? I'm sure it's a bunch of husk laying around your chair. Cause you a corny mofo. All you gotta do is say a couple curse words. You know, we've been cursing for a long time. That's all it is. I bet you he still go back vote for Biden and Hillary. What's changed? He no longer wears action slacks. What he changed? He turned in his, I don't know, East St. Laurent for Tom Ford. What did he really do? You know, what? Well, now he says, go to effing hell. Before he used to say, go to hell. Yeah, that's a big difference. Revolutionary. And the real problem with it, fam, is just that this is how bad we are at our media IQ is that bad. Yeah, our media IQ is that bad. It's like we cannot decipher garbage. And what's making it even worse is that the commentator said it, if he probably knows better, he's just a greedy mofo. He's just a kiss ass of the Democrats. So it's a lie they're spreading. That all you have to do now is talk tough. And that's what people want. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but that's what the memo probably said that the Democrats sent each other, and that's why you've been seeing a virtual, like a herd of pissed off, angry, like this guy Eric Swalwell sitting on the House floor. They're like, you know, you hear people in Congress. I was watching the hearing at Jasmine Crockett cursing, and it was she was crying and cursing and doing all this shit, right? And the guy was like, oh, Jesus Christ. This is the fourth F-bomb in this session. And I hear Eric Swalwell, this howdy-doody looking mofo, who pretends to be, just last year was, hi, everybody. My name's Eric Swalwell. Hey, what's going on? How's everybody? Hey, I'm from California. Hey, what's going on? Now he's like, hey, what's up? You want some, huh? You want some, huh? Trying to be like a taller Sean Penn type character. Yeah, what's that? What's that? You know, what's wrong? The F-bombs hurting your little Disney ears. And as, you know, I'm sitting here with my popcorn and shit, you know. No, we do, fam. For real. Woo! You know what I'm saying? Chilling, man, watching this shit, watching the show. And I'm like, damn, man, I don't think I ever heard this type of shit come out of the Congress Senate, man. This is a new thing. Man, ain't no way people gonna buy that, man. People are dumb, but, you know, damn. You mean, how dumb can you be if you really think, like, this is different because it cursed? I mean, people, you know, all of America is a bunch of idiots. We're not that stupid. They ain't gonna fall for that shit. No way. You go on social, see everybody, this is great. Look at them fighting back. That's what I was wanting from the Democrats, to fight back. Nothing you can do with these people. Nothing you can do with them, fam. So look, let's jump into a couple clips. Let's see if they worked. If they did, we'll continue the conversation. If they worked, well, then I'll have a visual aid. Because I have a couple stories I saw that were worth, I feel, worth your time that I wanted to share with you. I don't want to just put anything in front of you because we could just chop it up on different topics. Now would be a good time to hit the like button if you enjoy this content. Let the world know what time it is because it's going down, Johnson. It's going down. Yeah, baby. Who that over here? See what we got. See what we got, fam-o. Okay, looks like it worked. All right, go with that. One never knows if things are going to work out.
Next up with Tim Black.
In Florida, it's just the latest analogy of we're losing sight of what the America First movement is.
So that's for sure. So that means, I mean, I guess it's all obvious, but I haven't talked it through or really thought it through. So that would mean.
Okay, check this out, fam. So I've been hearing a lot of conversation about Tucker Carlson having on a candidate out there in Florida, a gubernatorial candidate by the name of Fishback. Now, Fishback is running against Byron Donalds, who it looks like I think he was leading. DeSantis termed out. He can't run. I think his wife is running. And it looks like Byron was the upfront guy. Trump put his money on Byron. And let's check out this clip of Tucker Carlson. A lot of the FBAs were, talking about this because, well, there's a mention of FBA here. So that's part of it. The other part is some of the other conversation. One of my Tim Black Wolfpack members sent this to me. I said, let's check it out. That's real.
Mean that there's no preference given to the American born whose family's been paying taxes to support the school. And I should say in Florida, the best schools in Florida are public universities.
That's right, the largest and the best.
Right. So University of Florida, number one. Say about that.
There's been nothing so far. I think Governor DeSantis has been a great governor, especially during COVID, after COVID, standing up
to
I
agree with that.
The indoctrination in our schools, which maybe is the only silver lining from COVID, is all the parents actually knew what was going on in the classroom.
Right.
The white guilt lessons,
Yes.
to the white kids. We don't want the teachers telling the white kids to apologize. And we don't want the teachers also telling the black kids that there's something somehow wrong with them.
Exactly.
And they're systemically oppressed and they can never make it. My posture on all of this is, I think as conservatives, we have to stop playing defense, stop wagging the finger at things we don't like, and start actually having concrete, falsifiable solutions.
Yeah, that's so that was the problem, man. When that's the narrative that the Republicans have been running with. It's been going on for a couple of years now that they didn't want to. It wasn't that they didn't want Black History taught. They didn't, but it was the whole thing of like, it was bad for Black people. And they don't want people to think that Black people were treated like second-class citizens and still represented that way in this country. They wouldn't want you to think that because that's a victim mentality for the Blacks, and it makes white people feel bad that Black people have been treated this way and nothing was ever done about it. And instead of actually doing something about it, they'd rather just people change their opinions about it. Yeah, don't fix the problem. Just don't talk about it. Let's keep going.
So this issue of China, here's my solution, very simple. On day one, my first executive order as governor next January is to raise tuition on all foreign students to $1 million a year. So Tucker, when they can't pay, they're out and our kids are back in. Their destinies, their lives restored at our great colleges.
In the legislature, you can do that by executive order?
Pure executive order.
Ooh, that's clever. Yeah, because foreign students pay full freight typically.
Right. Synergy of the company, it leads to higher attrition, it breaks down productivity, etc. And
y'all hear that? He said his solution to the H-1 visa program issue with a bunch of foreign nationals coming to the country and going to our universities and taking up slots that a poor white kid would take is to charge you $1 million per student. Okay.
And their response was, you're a racist. And they delisted our fund. And
Who did this?
the board of trustees of the Title Financial Group in October, just 9 days after saying, hey, here's our formal amendment to broaden the scope of our investment fund to not just exclude companies that are doing the DEI stuff, but actually exclude companies that are doing something that's far more insidious, which is, you're a white guy? No, you don't get a job. We want an Indian guy to do it for half the price.
Right. And ethnic cartels form within companies that
Absolutely.
hire within the ethnicity. It's the opposite of what this country promises.
Right. And they gaslight us and say all the white men hiring officers are only hiring white men. Absolutely not.
That's a lie.
It's not a single HR manager.
This was a white male country that led in the rest of the world. So clearly we know that's not true.
Yeah, look at the way they let us in. You guys are great. How you rolled out the red carpet for us, invited us over, gave us a place to stay. Oh, a little thing like lynching once we got free. Forced sterilization was kind of weird. Eugenics, medical experimentation, all that was kind of gross. I don't know what, a couple different ways to take that, sure, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how I feel about that, but yeah, it was really hospitable of you to invite us over here and make us slaves in perpetuity, and all of our offspring slaves. Amazing. Guys are cool.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And this, it's all based on the slanderous lie of systemic racism. The only systemic racism in America is against white Christian men.
I'm aware.
Yeah, that's so the guy who sent me this video, I don't know why he sent it to me. He was like, hey, it's an interesting conversation. You should check it out. They mentioned the FBA. He didn't give me like a time code, so I started from the beginning. Because he felt it's a positive conversation. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to hear this, Tim Black. He shouts out Tariq Nasheed. I'm like, okay, I'll check it out, man. Thank you. I'm going to check it out and hear this shit. The only people it's not that discrimination's a lie. It's not that systemic racism or systemic discrimination doesn't exist. It does. It's just not you, N-word. It's us. The most powerful people in the country are the people that are discriminated against. It's crazy because they're the ones doing the hiring and the firing. It's crazy, I know, right? They get 97% of all venture capital money, but they're the oppressed ones. And when we say we are, they go, victim mentality. Fam, you can't make this shit up. I'm saying, I'm trying to figure it out, fam. It's only a victim mentality if it's somebody else with a grievance. If they have the grievance, it's cool. Just sharing information. Standing up for yourself, speaking out, being courageous. But if somebody else says it's up, oh, cry baby, oh, tears flowing. Oh, look at the black tears. Oh, that's why I got black fatigue. Look at him cry, making me want to cry. Cry me a river. Cry me a river, Blackie. There you go again. This is what happens, fam. And I'm watching this and I'm like, you sure you want me to read this shit? Is this really what you wanted me to watch, and why? You thought I'd be so upset I'd go berserk and punch the wall or something, break my hand, or what were you hoping would happen? Try to figure it out. That's your problem, Tim Black. You listen too closely. Listen to the vibes, man.
That's interesting. And it's interesting to hear you say that as a gubernatorial candidate, because even like 6 months ago, hearing that from an aspiring politician would have been totally shocked.
Very victims of what is effectively this America Last globalism that has prioritized other nations and other corporations' interest over our own people. It really does hit hard that we have been sold a bag of goods. And the biggest victims in all of it are actually predominantly white men, to be completely honest. I mean, the victimhood, not to be a victim, but the victimhood is very far reaching. But if you want to flip the caste system over, you'd be hard pressed to find someone more oppressed in my state right now than a rural white Christian man who relied on cattle, on citrus, on manufacturing. My own dad was a tree trimmer for 20 years. The devastating Haitian earthquake happened in January of 2010. And then it was this brilliant idea from a guy named Barack Hussein Obama to let 100 Haitians who were here illegally just stay here and get work authorization. Now, of course, they can't become SAT tutors. So what happens? They do manual labor like tree trimming. Next thing you know, my dad has lost his business of 20 years through no fault of his own, but because the open border legitimized that labor. And now I'm living on food stamps with my parents. We're on the brink of bankruptcy. Thank God we didn't have to go that far. But that is a real concern. And I felt it in my own community, quite literally in my own.
I need to run for office. I have a similar story about my dad in the construction industry. When I tell it, people call me racist too. Maybe we should link up, dude. I can tell you my story about my dad. You can tell your story about your dad. Yeah. You looking for a lieutenant governor? Has that one problem that you are white nationalists. That's a little bit of a problem for me, though, fam. I don't know if I can get past that part. But you know what? Forget these labels. Forget them. You know what I'm saying? We got a vested interest in bringing jobs back to the country. So I should overlook it all, right? Isn't that what they mean by reaching across the aisle? Isn't that what they about, trying to get things done? Isn't that what they mean? Compromising? Wow, family.
Which is actually quite interesting because I got a call from the Foundational Black American Society here in Florida who reminded me that Byron's mother is Jamaican, he is Panamanian, and they found it quite insulting in their words that he would try to claim victimhood of slavery without a single descendant of American slaves in his family.
I like those foundational guys.
They're so good.
Tariq Nasheed and all. I mean, I don't agree with everything, but they've got a perspective. If your family's been here 400 years and the descendants of a lot of American slaves or families have been here 400 years, I don't know. I think that gives, I'll listen to you. Like you've
100%.
you've got a point of view that is legitimate, I think.
Yeah.
We made it. We made it. Come here, people post that. We made it. We made it. Made it. Where? To where? And for whose benefit?
What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words.
Just saying. Tough room. You cannot choose who likes your message. Part of politics, people are going to use whatever they can to benefit themselves. Politics has strange bedfellows? Is that how it goes? Isn't there like a phrase for that? Like, isn't that it? The enemy is my friend or something, and other stuff, and step on a crack, you break your mother's back. I don't know, fam, just weird. You know what I'm saying? It's like they throw you a bone and it's like, hey, look at this bone they threw me. Ann Coulter used to throw bones like this. You don't think Anderson Cooper saw the Ann Coulter bone throwing thing? And black people are very loyal, so they'll quietly be very loyal. Hear people down go, man, where can we go on? Where can we go on the Tucker Carlson show? That's what they say AD wants to do. He wants to go on Tucker Carlson. Here's what I know. Nobody who's legitimately fighting to get Black Americans off the bottom will ever be allowed on Tucker Carlson's podcast. So I'll put that out there. That'll never happen because that's not his agenda. People say stuff all the time. Tim Black, you should go this place. Do you realize the politics of letting someone go a place? I used to invite all types of people to my platform. I was not thinking that way. These people are political animals. These people have donor money. I wasn't getting donors. I had viewers sending $5 a month, $10 a month. 20 was like, wow. These people have big money on the line. Not to mention Tucker's like Swanson's, you know those nasty ass meals you throw in the oven back in the 80s and 90s? His family owns that, don't they? It's a rich kid. He wants to stay a rich kid. He's not going to risk anything. You want to come up here and fight for people's rights? Get out of here. Hey, man, I just got to call a thing a thing. But you can't control. So I don't want to be misconstrued, man. You can't control who's going to listen to your videos. I say something negative about a certain politician, the people that don't like him are going to like it. I don't have to know them. I don't have to be friends with them. We don't have to hang out. We don't have to be, we're not conspirators. We're not cohorts. You know what I'm saying? It's not what's that thing that lame dude used to say? Sounds to me like this was a collaborative effort. They joined together. Sounds like they were joining. Sounds like this was a plan, a strategy. Shut up. You know, some people agree on things. They don't have to get together to agree. And someone said, Tim Black, what was one of the best shows on HBO? I'd say The Wire, if not the best. It doesn't mean everybody who said that was my friend. We share an opinion about the best show in HBO history. Followed closely by Sopranos, followed closely by Boardwalk Empire. But you get what I'm saying? It does not mean that we coordinated, right? But you can't tell people that because they want to smear you. That's what they'll say. They say, you and I, such and such. So you can't worry about that. You can't worry about it. I will add this. Okay, this is just what I know, okay? About 5-6 years ago, when my name was like heavy in the politics, maybe 7 years ago, at the beginning of it, right? I got approached by a conservative network that wanted me to become their only leftist, lefty type, non-conservative in their network. And they were like, look, you know, we're gonna do this for you, do that for you. And I worked with them. Actually, I signed up with them for a while. But it only lasted like 6 months, 9 months. The money wasn't right. They weren't doing anything for me that I saw. But he used to give me advice. He'd say, look, man, this is what you need to do. One of the things you're not doing is you're not grieving enough. Yeah, you got to grieve more. He said all of our conservative partners, you got to play victim. You got to grieve. You got to have grievances. Conservatives love grievances of their people. You got to have grievances. I'm telling you, Tim, that's what you got to do. And as I look back, I was like, this guy's so right on the money about the grievance aspect. You got to be a victim. And if you look at them, all across the board, all of them complain. They complain about this thing, that treatment of this happened, they're taking this away, they're taking that. It's like, that's a running theme. And I don't think it's just on the right. It's also on Democrats and Republicans. But these are tricks of the trade. We got millionaires, multi-millionaires, pretending to be so disenfranchised, so, marginalized, pushed aside, victimed, but it's a ploy, fam. It's a game. It's cap. It's a strategy. They told me to do it, and they told me why. And people are doing it. And people that really are, who feel that way at home, relate to it. They feel it humanizes you because they feel the same way in certain aspects. Winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So I don't know, man. So what do you think about Tucker Carlson and Fishback? It's hard because Fishbowl, I can't say I like him. But I did like what he called Byron Donalds AIPAC Shakur. Because he takes a lot of money from AIPAC. Yeah, I thought that was clever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't like Byron Donalds' politics either. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes that's how it is. But I'm going to tell you this, probably on policy. Even if you don't like a guy, even if he said white people are the most people to get discriminated against, it's silly blacks need to stop complaining. They're not it. We're it. We're the ones behind the 8 ball. It just looks like you are because you're unemployed and your lifespan is shorter and your credit rating's shitter and I don't know, get shot more often and higher percentage rate or even the same credit and women died giving childbirth at the rates of fourth world and third world countries. It may seem like all those things make you seem like you got it bad, but really, I couldn't find a parking space, dude. Okay? I had to circle the block 5 times for a parking space. I was tired, man. Jesus, my show Pluribus was on. And I couldn't watch it because I got to circle the block. Then there was a woman, and I said, hey, Toots. And she's like, don't call me Toots. I'm like, listen to this. And they treat me. I put my hand on her butt, and she said, what? And she was like, she was going to slap me. What is this world coming to? What is happening here? And so what? There was a black guy lying, and I called him the N-word. Can't take a joke. We still let words bother us. What is wrong with us? Eminem was the greatest rapper anyway. Ever. I'm trying to tell you, fam. But when it comes down to it, you don't get to choose your friends. And sometimes you're going to have things in common. And I don't know. Hey, man, I'm a commentator. All I can tell you is that you was wondering what the end was, and you were wondering how bad things could get. This is it. Yeah, this is it, baby. This is it. I used to disagree with that. People would say, Tim Black, never seen the world more divided. Country's so divided. Never seen it this divided. I'd be like, man, shut up. We used to be way more divided than this. Nothing divides the races like black people swinging in trees. Strange fruit. Nothing divides races like separate bathrooms. But you know what? I'm going to change my mind. I think it is more divided than it's ever been. It was divided before physically. Now it's divided more mentally. I don't know. But I think there's something like a... look at the world. We're losing. They tried to lock Trump up. That's part of what their argument is, right? Is that if white men were as powerful as they always have been in the United States, look what they try to do to Trump. This is an argument. I heard somebody use this argument. Look what they did to Trump and tried to throw him in jail. And who was doing it? Black women. I was like, yeah, black women that were supported by white people. I mean, who you think put Fannie Willis in? You would think that was their idea? You don't think the Democratic Party had anything to do with it? Hey, fam, I know we got a lot of Democrats, black faces in high places in the Democratic Party or various places who will make you believe it's a lie that black people run shit in the Democratic Party. They do not. They do not. Not even close, fam. Democratic Party is a white party, just like the Republican Party is a white party, just like the Green Party. Yeah, it's a white party. So anyway, we can't lose sight with reality. Just because there's good marketing, it's because there's good marketing going on. The tries to, it has Benetton coming. Benetton used to have, Benetton, the clothing store, I think it was out of Switzerland or some shit, used to have these splashy imagery of the rainbow of colors of people in their ads, but it was still owned by 100% white company. I mean, BET was started by black people, but it featured black culture, music, shit, but it was owned by, a bunch of white guys. At the end of the day, we do know these things, right? It kills me when people have a computer, they walk around with computers in their back pockets all day, and they don't ever look them up. They just play Angry Birds on these Roblox, watch cooking videos. The answers are right in this, man. Stop saying that if you agree with Trump, you're a white supremacist. If you agree with Kamala, you are fight the power of a black revolutionary Fred Hampton. No! White company. White organization, just like the Republicans. Different culture war narratives. Come on, Johnson. Megyn Kelly was in both parties. That don't tell you something. She was comfortable over there and comfortable over here. That don't tell you something? What's his name? What's the Barney Rubble looking motherfucker out of West Virginia? Joe Manchin? Same thing. Democrat 1 week, Republican the next. Come on, Johnson. John Fetterman, one leg in, one leg out. Twist. Everybody might not get it. Everybody might not understand it, but my people gotta understand it because, well, you're my people. And we know things. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. I got one more clip. How are we doing over here? We got the Tim Black Wolfpack in the house. I saw that we had the Viacom ruin EBT or BET. EBT. I said EBT, fam. What's up, Solo? How you doing, fam? And so that's to whomever. There it is. Tupac is FBA. Tupac. No, APAC. APAC Shakur. That's what they call Byron Donalds. It is. Who said that? Miss Kitty Catty. One bird, two wings, you better understand. Muhammad Ali is the FBA. You saw what they did to him. They threw his ass in jail. That's why people don't want to be FBA.
And they're unequivocally heritage Americans.
That's for sure.
100%.
They're definitely heritage Americans, if anyone is. And, someone rolls in from Ghana and gets an MSNBC slot and starts speaking on behalf of black people. It's like, shut up, honey. You've got nothing to do with this.
Right.
That's
Literally.
a fair perspective,
Right.
I think.
And so it's good to actually see them call them out for that. That's actually cultural appropriation. Appropriating the struggle of slavery.
I totally agree.
And the struggle of slavery was real. I don't think Republicans ever want to really whitewash that. It's real, right? But for
We're
Byron,
against slavery.
we're against it.
Whether it's in the, West Bank or here or anywhere.
Or anywhere.
Yeah, against it.
But secondarily, to actually go out and try to gaslight us and think that you're just one of those guys that has been here, since the early 1800s and your family was in the struggle too, you're not. And that's a very interesting term that the foundational Black Americans use. It's called tether. They're tethering these tethers like Byron Donalds. They come here literally one generation in, and they try to just sit around and act so folksy that we're all part of the same struggle and we're all down on and we need to fight against. No, you just got here, dude. Like the Haitians, like the guys from Ghana who just got here, you don't get to just be a part of our system and then lecture us about how our country went wrong.
Next up with Tim Black.
Yeah, I can see why people like that. Yo. Yeah, I can see why people like that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of accurate. It's not kind of accurate. That is accurate, isn't it, Johnson? Reminds me of Vivek Ramaswamy. It's got a little bit of Vivek in it, a little Byron Donalds in it, a little bit of Joy Reid, a little sprinkle of Joy Reid in there. Yeah. Realize it up, my man. 6'3", baby, maybe a quarter of an inch bigger. Here last year, but still a unique figure. Well, Singer got more figure than hot toast. Born to have a mic on, just to be around, let me kick a ride. Try to keep me out of financial mind. Treat me right. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Treat me right. Trump Rock was a tether. People want to put hands on the big man. Can you come out? Can you come out and start a jam? I'm your number one fan, and yes, I am. All right, guys. Now is a good time to go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, become a member of the Tim Black Show, become a member of the Wolf Pack. Now, the Wolf Pack gives you access to my full library, Johnson. See, Tim Black, people don't want information, they want solutions. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to work on some solutions. I'm going to do it. We got to have solutions. I don't know what, I'm going to go on a journey to put together solutions because that's what people want. So the content thing is free, it's everywhere. So I'm working on it. But if you want to become a member in the process, go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, and $5 a month. All right, Johnson, I got one more clip. Wow. In this clip, Stephen A. Smith goes after Joy Reid, Jasmine Crockett, and Don Lemon. Yeah. But it's in response to them going after him. This is going to be fun. Let's go. Fun times.
Black.
Feed it to you. You got $100 million for a show with half my ratings at my worst. They're paying you, meaning ESPN, because you are willing to say the nasty things about black people that they want to say. You're willing to take their denigration of black women and put it in the mouth of a Negro, end quote. Before I address what Joy Reid, what I just read to you, came out of her mouth on that podcast, ladies and gentlemen, this woman is of the mindset that somehow, some way she's been insulted by me because when she got fired by MSNBC, I had the temerity, the unmitigated gall to say this. I've invited Joy Reid on this show, and I'm looking forward to her accepting my invitation so we can talk. Let me tell you how I feel about Joy Reid first. I respect the hell out of this woman. She is highly intelligent, very, very knowledgeable, very passionate, She has a lot to say. She is more than a conscientious observer, and she is fearless in calling out what she believes to be inequities, unfairness, and the like anywhere, but especially as it pertains to the black community, and obviously as it pertains to leftists, to folks on the left. But when we want to bring up race as the cause for her being gone, I don't think we're serving ourselves well. Michael Steele is going to be there as well as a replacement, along with Alicia. And you got to remember Menendez is right there as well. It's hard to make the race argument when her replacements are reported to be 3 individuals that already have a weekend show on the network, and they're going to be inserted in the network. And I'm just reading from the reports here. Okay, I have not spoken to Joy Reid. I don't know. I've had the pleasure of meeting her on a couple of occasions. I certainly respect her. And I'm not here to castigate her in any way, but we do have to talk about the business in a very, very honest and fair fashion. Joy Reid was incredibly outspoken against the Trump administration, as has always been the case. Since election, her ratings have dropped by 47%. 47%. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't keep your job when stuff like that happens. You just don't. The business doesn't allow for that to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, that right there is the only time I've ever spoken about Joy Reid. That right before my interview with Lindsay Davis for ABC News Live the other day. That right there is apparently what she found to be disrespectful. That right there is what she appears to deduce as being denigrating and insulting to black women. What do you want me to say? Joy Reid, beyond a conscientious observer, somebody who unapologetically fights on behalf of us as a community every chance she gets. Whether we agree or disagree with tactics from time to time, verbiage from time to time, etc., there is no doubt where her loyalty and her conscience lies. All I was pointing out was, you've gone after Trump, albeit legitimately in your mind and that of many, many others who watched your show. Did you take into account the fact that he might win and what that might ultimately do? Because you know how he is and you know he's coming. And sure enough, a couple of months later, it ended up happening. So when it ended up happening, I was making a point because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in the business. Not only that, I've had a show that was canceled in 2007. So I was simply making the point that in our business, particularly when you're black, regardless of the reasons behind why a precipitous fall off may occur, you kind of know what's going to happen. That's it. That something happens involving you in the news, you're the headline, you're the story, I talk about it, and I read the facts that were put in publications. And because of that, I'm just catering to white folks and talking about folks and all of this other stuff.
I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Do you think the Stephen A has any valid points in this? Does it seem like he's being on the up and up? Is he being ethical, or is he doing this, with an axe to grind for a black woman, or for a black woman, because that's what Joy is alleging, right? Let's keep listening. Let's not rush to judgment on this. Let's hear him out and see what we think.
I say that, I played that clip because Don Lemon specifically said I was talking shit about him. I've never talked shit about you. I've had you on this show. I showed you nothing but respect when you were here. I showed you nothing but respect when I came onto your shows. I've never spoken against you, ever, ever. This pattern that's taking place that I'm witnessing transpire before my very eyes right now, I'm not blind. I see what's going on. And it's one thing. It's very, very simple to disagree with me. It's very, very simple to say that I'm wrong. It's very, very simple to say, I don't know what I'm talking about. Cool. Black people don't like me. That's a very, very, very personal shot. What if I got personal about Don Lemon? You want to talk about black people and your relationship with black people compared to others and who likes other people, who black people like and who they don't. We all got receipts. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to do that to you. It's unnecessary.
Would you do that to him? I would do that to him. Stephen A., you're not going to do that to him? You're not going to expose him who's said he's exposing you? Man, folks, I'm trying to keep up with what's going on here. Maybe I'm being petty, but is it petty when someone's coming for your neck to defend thyself?
You have your YouTube show. Joy's doing her thing, with you and without you. I'm wishing y'all success. But what y'all are doing right now is vicious. I can take it. I'm going to continue to take it. It's spelled with a PH, not a V. Feel free. A in the middle of the initial. Go ahead, knock yourself out. I can take it. But it don't make you right. And it damn sure don't make you righteous. The reality of the situation is that you're basically sitting up there and pulling a Laura Ingraham. With LeBron, shut up and dribble. You're telling me to shut up and stick to sports. It's the fact that I'm touching on stuff that's essentially news and what have you. It's got y'all up in a tizzy. Joy, you brought up Ben Shapiro. I've met the man once. I interviewed him twice. I've met Megyn Kelly once. I am no black conservative, but I certainly understand why black conservatives get so heated when it comes to the issues of liberalism, because they see how they get labeled for their ideological beliefs and how they get denigrated. So the liberal can believe what the liberal wants to believe and we can agree or disagree. But if a black conservative feels a certain way, they got to be a sellout to their community. They can't believe there's a better strategy to the economy. They can't believe there's a better strategy to addressing border issues. They can't believe there's a better strategy for affordability. Oh, no, it must be. And of course, they can't possibly disagree with some of the stuff that Trump is doing, like the latest nonsense that he put out there where he's blaming black folks and speaking about the issues of slavery and things of that nature as something that's been unfavorable to white people. Like that should be ignored, like history should be erased.
Next up with Tim Black.
All right. Well, Stephen A. had a lot to say, fam, and I made a couple notes of things I wanted to go over in regards to what he said. And at the end of the day, we all get to make our determination about, how we feel about what he said. And this is just my opinion based on observations. Look, I want to pose this question to you. And of course, feel free to comment. It seems kind of strange to me that Joy Reid would be so upset with Stephen A. Smith. Is it just me, or does it seem like She's more upset with Stephen A. Smith for talking about her being fired than she's upset with MSNBC for firing her. I mean, I've never heard her really go to town on MSNBC. I mean, they're the ones that fired her without warning. They dissed her, they dismissed her, they terminated her with no warning, they underpaid her, paid the white girl like 5 times more or something like that, Rachel Maddow. And you would think those would be good reasons to call out the MSNBC, the MS Now. It just seems weird that Joy Reid seems to have much more fire in her gun, more bullets in her gun for Stephen A., who's never fired her, never cost her a job, never called for her firing, only commented on it, whether you agree with his comments or not. But that is all he did was talk about it. Seems a little strange. I mean, maybe that's just me. Then I'm also wondering, why is Stephen A. even addressing this? Stephen A. is obvious. People don't like you, bro. Yeah, why is it you keep on making it a point to talk about Don Lemon, Jasmine Crockett, Joy Reid, Curry Champion? Like, why? You know they're just using it as media. Content is king, and it's an opportunity. I mean, right? Seems weird. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. What do you think about that? Do you think it's weird that Stephen A. is even given this time of day when he doesn't have to? Or maybe it's a benefit to him as well. And I'm thinking, he's not being benevolent. It's not being like a philanthropist by responding to these people. So it must benefit him in some way to do the rebuttals. Because let's face it, he ain't doing rebuttals to Tim Black or anybody else with a platform that's calling him out, unless they are former cable news people. It's a little elitist, but I get it. There's nothing for him to win calling me out or responding to me, responding. Number 3, third thing. Man, am I tripping? Or is this just people jealous? I mean, they look into a space, even though they weren't in this space, none of these people really had a platform in independent media. They only got platforms in independent media because mainstream gave them the axe. When they got the axe, then they come here and they see Stephen A. is already there. And then they come for him. Because they feel like they should have top dog spot. You weren't here. Joy Reid was on MSNBC, minding her business, talking all that shit on MSNBC. Don Lemon was on CNN, above the fray. What's one of the sayings McCarty used to use? Something about when the dogs howl at the moon doesn't howl back. Isn't that one of those down-to-earth comments you made, Bakari, a few years ago? Salt of the earth, man. What a brother. What a cool-ass brother, man. You all right. I shouldn't have been offended by that at all. You the moon man. The guy on the moon. Don't even have a platform. Hey, don't white people put you on there, so that's just as good. So is that jealousy with this thing? It's like, is that just being competitive? Keith Olbermann obviously is just jealous. Keith Olbermann's calling for Stephen A. to lose his job because he had a different take on the whole Minneapolis, Minnesota ICE agents shooting. He didn't even play around. It's like, they need to let him go. They need to fire Stephen A. Because Keith Olbermann's been fired several times. In fact, Keith Olbermann's been fired more times than a Saturday Night Special in the D. Now, there's one thing I will admit. Stephen A. has a point. that I agree with. That I agree with this point. May have had other points, but this is the one I agree with the most. He says black conservatives, they get unfair treatment, man. Yeah, it's no way that black conservatives are treated like this. No way they could be ethical or the level and have different opinions outside of the corporate liberal perspective. And if they do, then they are sellouts, cools, sambos, what have you. I gotta admit, there's a point to that. There's a point to that. In fact, you don't have to be a conservative. You can just be a person who has different opinions based on your lived experience, based on your research, based on just how you feel basically in life, and they'll still call you a sambo, cool, sellout, these things. They don't care what you do, what you're about. If you disagree with them on this, whatever it is, typically whatever it is the Democrats say, that means automatically that you are a sellout. So I give Stephen A, I give him props for that because, yeah, I gotta admit, sometimes when I'm talking to conservatives or listening to a conservative, it's in the back of my head, like, is this person real? Do you really believe some of the things you're saying? But I've gotten better over time. Yeah, I've gotten better over time. I was worse a few years ago. But slowly, as I got detoxed more and more, to get more to like, no skin in the game on either party, no affiliation, more independent, make my own mind up based on my own research, genuine spot, not rooting for any parties. I've got better. I'm still not all the way there, but I'm getting there. Now I'm like more biased towards the Democrats. More, is it I'm more harder or I'm more cynical, more skeptical, more with the Democrats because they be lying to us all the time. But there's something like today, for instance, when you got a conservative and they go too damn far. Like, you could be a conservative, but you don't have to say dumb shit like, I'm not black. I'm something else. I'm a Christian. I'm not a black man. That's that Jason Whitlock anti-Daniels thing. You know what I'm saying? And that, to me, makes all conservatives look like cools. Because now you're like, I may look black, and I may be talking about black shit all the time, but I'm really not black American. I'm another thing. So when I'm criticizing black people, I'm not criticizing myself because I'm not with them. It's like the Hodge twins / but then when they want to, every once in a while they're making it seem like they are affiliated and they just feel so bad about their people. And you try to help them. Like Candace Owens is trying to help them. But also quick to say, I'm a Christian, I'm a this, I'm not black. So it's very confusing. And it's that type of, what I feel like is self-serving, right? Like false, self-serving, greedy, manipulative type stances that I don't feel are genuine, that they take that I say, it makes you feel like they don't stand for anything. It's like, it's a game they're playing. They put on a conservative suit to go get the conservative money. Just like the Democrats put on the liberal suit to go get the liberal money. Different suits, but it's still a suit. So that's why I come up on the Stephen A. Smith thing, right? I'd like to know what you guys think about it. Stephen A., I've been critical of Stephen A., I've made comments about him, but this video is not about him. It's not about his track record of flip-flopping, which I've called him out for. You can't be on both sides of everything, Stephen A. You even on both sides of these people that are calling you all types of names, all types of degrading comments made. You're still on both sides of defending them and bigging them up and criticizing them at the same time. I think it's just a corporate media effect. It's just an ingredient inside a corporate media entity's brain that makes them be full of shit. or something like that. All right, guys, my name is Tim Black. Thank you for tuning in to the most dangerous show in America. I appreciate y'all. Let's go to comments. Let's see what other people are talking about. Oh, I have all the fun. That's what they tell me. Well, it doesn't matter. He's not a Black American. So I guess so. You know what I'm saying? Guess that's what that means, fam. Yeah, I guess that's safe to say. Well, hey, thank you, fam. I appreciate you. Yeah. There it is. JD Vance took it too far. That's what I'm talking about. They take it too far. They pander too hard. And it's like, and once you go too far with the pandering, all self-respect is lost. Well, all respect is lost. Right? Yeah. They look down at the grassroots, YouTube, and the news. Yeah, it's to the point, fam, that to be sustainable, the diversification of my content has to take place. So I gotta stretch beyond politics because it's becoming so diluted with corporate media people who have way more sway with the YouTube algorithm that I can't compete. This is what it is. It is what it is. People don't like none of them. People do like them. Yo, Sherry, I wish you were right about that, man. They do like them. Thousands of people, if not millions of people, like Don, Joy, and Crockett. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I don't know if she got a severance package. But you would think, have smoke for the company that threw you under the bus, that took food off your table. Before you have smoke for a guy who did neither of those things. And if you can't have smoke for MSNBC or MSNL, you shouldn't have smoke. You should not have smoke for Stephen A. Smith. Because what do you really do? But they take it personal, fam. And like I said before, a lot of people in media business who have a problem with Joy Reid have it for a very good reason. Joy is very super petty. Joy will call others and skunk you and try to ruin your career opportunities. She will never respond to this. But I know it to be true. Don Lemon, similar. All of these people are gatekeepers. And if they have anything to do with it, they will do their best to ruin your life. Not because you did something to them, just because you had a take or an opinion that they didn't like. That's all it would take. That's it. Your own money. You know, you did, you know what I'm saying? You didn't dox them. You just disagree with them. You just criticize them. It's to them. Even though they got way more platform, it doesn't matter. The fact you would have the audacity to publicly disagree with them is enough to try to ruin your life. They don't care if you black and you got a family. They don't care about that. Should have thought about that before you said something about me. Yeah. And then if you got other people, even if they rock with you, they're cowards. They don't want problems. They want to stay out of harm's way. So they're gonna go along with the people the people with more muscle, they go along with them. It's sad, fam. I see conservatives do it. I couldn't believe conservatives are doing it too. I'm like, conservatives are truly scared of a God-in woman? With a YouTube channel? Really? For real? That's what we doing? Ain't that I can do with you? Nothing I can say. It is what it is, fam. Yo, quit. Oh, fam. That's funny. That's funny right there. That's funny. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you say. That's funny. Tether or tether cry. All right, family. That's it. That's all I got, fam. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Thank y'all for being here. We'll be back on Friday to come through on a Friday night, make the table shake. I'm Tim Black. Thank you for tuning into this broadcast. Number love. Look, don't let nobody take your cornbread. It bothers me to see good people without their cornbread. All right? I got a problem with that. So let's everybody keep their cornbread. And also, let's all make a commitment to stay courageous, bold, and most of all, stay dangerous. We don't need more suckers. We don't need more company men and women going with the flow. We need more people willing to stand up. Because if you lay down for anything, you'll fall for anything. We got to stand up. All right, that's all I got. Now, I got reasons for doing what I do. Here they go.